of on 103.5 FM. Guess what? It's time for Sport Today edition of the sports show where we give the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sport. Yesterday, it was a beautiful moment from the Flying Eagles of Nigeria against Senegal, which they won that game via penalty. That game yesterday, securing 1 goal to nothing against Nigeria. All that game finished, of course, ended in a draw. Of course, we saw 2 games ended in a draw yesterday. We look into this beautiful game that went down yesterday in the world of NBA. 2 games went down early hours of today. We dive into the action on the show this afternoon. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. In case you don't know, we are broadcasting live from Bodija here in the Brown Room City of Ibadan. I got Samuel Akin today in the studio this afternoon. See, boy.
For the team is to get to the semi-final of this competition, which means that they would actually secure a ticket for the next World Cup, and they've done it. And I was just looking at Coach Aliyu Zubair's scorecards, what he has done recently from 2024 up until this moment, and I can tell you that result-wise, he's doing very well. He's been fantastic. Don't forget, he promoted Academy Warriors to the MPFL in 2024, and from the NNL, and he won the prestigious President Federation Cup 2024. He
also won the Super Series.
Yeah, he also with Academy Warriors. Then he was appointed as the head coach of the Flying Eagles in 2024, the same year, and he won the Wafubi Trophy with Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Don't forget it took place in Côte d'Ivoire right there, and he won the Wafubi to qualify for the AFCON under 2025 in Egypt. Now he qualified Flying Eagles for the AFCON, and now he has qualified them for the FIFA World Cup under 20 World Cup.
He also won the President FA Cup.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, he won the President FA Cup with Academy Warriors, defeating Abia Warriors in Lagos. Yeah. So I think results-wise, like I said, in as much as we've criticized, and I know that criticism is allowed, in as much as it's objective, in as much as it's not a destructive criticism, it is allowed to criticize and to see how the team can improve. We've criticized them in the past in terms of the performance. I mean, the way they play, the way the team play. But overall, getting results is actually the primary target of every coach for every team, and it's doing very, very well with the Flying Eagles. Now they are through to the semi-finals where they will take on South Africa. And I think it's a winnable game for them. They can find their way in the final and probably lift the CAF under 20 trophy. So, but the most important thing is what he has done, qualifying this team for the next FIFA Under 20 World Cup. It was a very keenly contested tie yesterday. We said it. When we came on yesterday, we were actually given the live updates as it was going in Egypt, and it was very, very tough because it ended goalless. In regulation and extra time, they could not break the deadlock. They could not find a breakthrough. But in penalties, the goalkeeper came up and he made a very, very fantastic save. Talking about Ebenezer Akot, it was the difference for the Flying Eagles yesterday, saving penalty during the penalty shootout, and the players they scored 30 penalties just to make sure that they advance to the semi-final. Good one for the Flying Eagles. I mean, they are doing very, very well in terms of getting what is very, very important, which is winning their games and qualifying for the next World Cup.
All right, good one from the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Guys, let's start from basketball this afternoon, shall we? And of course, we'll start with the game that we saw early hours of today: Golden State Warriors against Minnesota Timberwolves. And where we saw Timberwolves losing 110 to 117 right there from the conference semi-finals. Of course, we saw Golden State Warriors doing the magic in the first quarter of that game, recording 28 points to 27 points. And for Minnesota Timberwolves, they also lost the second quarter of that game, only for them to come back in the third quarter to record 39 points and, of course, 20 points in the last quarter of that game to secure the victory 3-1 on aggregate as we speak, just like in football.
For Minnesota Timberwolves, 3-1 on aggregate now. I mean, they are leading, and it seems they are going to qualify for the final. And I look at the other game as well. New York Knicks defeating Boston Celtics, the reigning NBA champions. Quite unfortunate for them that they are on the brink of elimination from the playoff.
Definitely.
Because they lost again to New York Knicks, and a certain player, talking about Jalen Brunson, was instrumental for New York Knicks in the early hours of this morning, scoring 39 points. That's huge for the New York Knicks.
39 points,
yes,
12 assists,
12 assists,
40 minutes.
40 I mean, that was very, very fantastic performance. What a performance. I think he was the MVP in that encounter with Boston Celtics. Like I said, it is a very, very disappointing playoff performance from the Boston Celtics because they are on the verge of elimination. They're on the brink of elimination from the playoff, 121 to 113. Though it was a close score, but I mean, it was a very, very important victory for New York Knicks. I was actually expecting Boston Celtics to come back in that game because they won the first quarter, 39 to 28. Even the second quarter, it ended 23 to 23 in a draw. The third quarter, they lost 37 to 23. The fourth quarter, they also lost. So I think the last two quarters was the difference in this game for the New York Knicks, winning the last two quarters, 37 to 23 and 33 to 28, to actually secure that victory. For Golden State Warriors, quite unfortunate for them. I mean, they are also on the brink of elimination because
yesterday we spoke about the difference between regular season and the playoff season. Because it will give you a surprising result. Just honestly, like Boston Celtics, we know them for doing well during the regular season. They are the reigning champions. They won the last season against all odds, and only for them to be behind as we speak now. So let's see what will happen before the end of the 7th series.
You know, the playoff season is full of surprises, unthinkable,
full of shockers.
Yes, and that's what we are saying. Like I used to tell people that it is not only in the game of football that you see unthinkables, that you see surprising.
Also, it happens in
basketball. Of course, we even have stories in the world of tennis because the ongoing Italian Open, the world number one Yannick Sinner is through to the semi-final of the ongoing Italian Open. Also for the likes of Coco Gauff also made history, becoming the youngest player to reach 4 WTA 1000 quarterfinals on clay, because she defeated Emma Raducanu in the earliest of today. So I think we are actually talking about unthinkables and games full of surprises, and you get to see impressive performance even from the team that struggled during the regular season. Talking about the world of NBA, I mean, we see Golden State Warriors, I mean, not doing fantastically well. Then you see New York Knicks, Cavaliers, yes, and you see Pacers, likes of Pacers defeating Indiana Pacers, defeating Cavaliers, Boston Celtics losing to New York Knicks. I mean, quite important victory for the New York Knicks to also maybe they can get to the final, because as it speaks, it is looking very, very uncertain that Boston Celtics will retain the title this time around. All
right, before we jump into tennis right about now, let's take stories from football. Of course, we'll be starting from the home scene. And just yesterday, we saw 3 games in the NWFL. Interesting one for some teams, like I used to say, Remo Stars yesterday securing victory against Niger Raptors, winning 2 games on bounce. They won the game by a long goal. But then it was a big drama later, 4 p.m. Nigerian time yesterday, where we saw Rivers Angels playing 1-1 draw against Edo Queens, and for Nasarawa Amazon playing 1-1 draw against Bayelsa Queens. So we have Remo Stars lady topping the log with 6 points from 2 games.
Yeah, it is. It is looking like Remo Stars will be the champions of the men's. Talking about the MPFL and also the women's league, talking about the NWFL, because as it stands, they are 6 points, topping the table in the Super 6, and the fact that it is going down on their home turf at the Remo Star Stadium right there in Ikenne. I've been saying this since Remo Stars won the league, that Ikenne is now the most talked about town when you talk about Nigerian football, not just for Remo Stars men's team, even for the women's team. I mean, quite important victory for them. They were able to hold on to the lead. I was saying that if they could not double their lead, what is important for them is to ensure that they get the 3 points, and that's what they got against Niger Raptors yesterday. The goal scored by Bolaji Olamide in the 14th minute of that encounter was enough for them to actually get a 3 point, and that was his 15th goal of the season.
I mean, about this yesterday. Very impressive player.
Very, very impressive player, Bolaji Olamide. Also, Aishat Animashan was also very, very good in that game, because when I got home, I was able to to watch the highlights of that game, and I could see that these Remo Stars lady, they are very, very good in terms of technicality, the way they command the midfield, the way they play the ball, the way they command possession, the way they dominate. I mean, their dominance is very, very very instrumental in that victory. So Niger Ratters also give them a very tough time. I mean, it was a real challenge, but they were able to hold on to the lead, and that was the only difference. For the Rivers Angels, it ended in a draw. I mean, quite unfortunate that they could not get a victory, but like we said yesterday, that it was going to be very, very difficult for them playing against the defending champion Edo Queens. Edo Queens won the league last season for the first time in their history, and you expect them to actually try as much as possible to defend their title, but it's not looking like that. It's not looking promising for them. I mean, Remo Stars ladies are looking and on the verge of winning their first ever NWFL title, but still all to play for. Still not over yet. We just keep our fingers crossed and see what we happen next.
All right, we still have a quite number of 3 games to go down right there at the NWFL. So, somewhere quickly, let's talk about the table as we speak now, because we have Remo Stars Lady with 6 points from 2 games, Nasarawa Amazon with 4 points. We have Bayelsa Queen also with 4 points. Edo Queens, Rivers Angel 1 point. Nigeria Hotels still struggling with 0 points. So next game now is going to be more interesting, because Bayelsa Queens will be playing against Remo Stars Lady 4 p.m. Nigerian time on that's at March the 3rd. Of course, it's going to be a very interesting one. We'll look into that. Of course, we'll talk about other games that will be going down. Edo Queens will be playing against Nigeria Hotels, the struggling Nigeria Hotels, and it's going to be a big one between Nasarawa and Rivers Angels.
Is it Nasarawa Amazon and Rivers Angels? For the Amazon, talking about Nasarawa Amazon, they would look at that game as a winnable game for them, and a win for them would take them to 7 points. And Remo Stars ladies, they can any team for me now. Remo Stars ladies can defeat any team if they can actually defeat Edo Queens and getting a win against Niger Ratters. You wonder what they could do against any other side. For Niger Ratters, they are struggling, 0 points after match day 2, and they will be playing against a desperate team, a team that desperately need a win, talking about Edo Queens, because if they fail to win their next game, they should just forget about retaining the title. So their next game is a must win in every circumstance. All circumstances, they need to win that game against Niger Ratters. They must find a way to actually get a 3 point against Niger Ratters. By all means, it's a must win. So they will be desperate in that game. They will go all out to get a win against Niger Ratters. I don't expect Niger Ratters to lose again, because losing their next game will be that they are out of the picture. So for me, I think that game is it's a game that we really can't wait to see. We really need to look forward to seeing that game. Edo Queens against Niger Ratters is going to be very, very interesting. Edo Queens cannot afford to drop points. Niger Ratters cannot afford to lose again. For Remo Stars, 6 points. Their next game, if they get a win, they are flying high.
Let me just take a live report from Ikene this time around, because 2 games has already been decided. Of course, just like you mentioned, Edo Queens against Nigeria Ratters. Edo Queens won that game by 2 goals to nothing.
Like I said, it's
and of course, let's talk about this other one. Nasarawa Amazon shock Rivers Angels. They won the game by 2 goals to 1.
You can see.
I mean,
so
it's an open league now.
Of course, it is very, very open now. Nasarawa Amazon 7 points now. They are topping the table currently now, because it was a very important victory for them against Rivers Angels. Rivers Angels now, they don't have anything to play for. They have lost. They just have 1 point after game 3. For Edo Queens, that was very, very important victory against Niger Ratters. Now they have 4 points, tied on the same point with Bayelsa Queens. Nasarawa topping the table with 7 points. Remo Stars ladies, we wait and see what they would do against Bayelsa Queens, but let's see how it pans out.
All right, interesting one. SN getting the 2 goals for Edo Queen in their game. Guys, we're going on a short commercial break right about now, and when we return, we go straight to the camp of the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, and of course take stories from the world of tennis. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
On 103.5 FM. Imagine having the freedom to work, play, and connect without interruptions. That is what fast internet means to us. At Highward Networks, we are passionate about delivering super fast, unlimited internet that is 6 times faster than the competition. Whether you're working from home, running a business, or streaming your favorite shows, we've got you covered. A reliable internet and 24/7 customer support ensure you stay connected always. So what are you waiting for? Join the iWorld Networks family today and discover a seamless internet experience. Call Jeffrey on 081 3058 9466 or visit our website www.iwn.ng to get started. iWorld Networks, connected possibilities.
On the 103.5 FM.
Alright, welcome back from that break. You are seeing on to sport today, serving the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sport. Yesterday, we have quite a number of games that went down, even from the Italian Serie A. We saw 2 games yesterday. Atalanta against AS Roma. Atlanta won the game by 2-1.
That was an important victory for them.
Yes,
they qualified for Champions League.
Yesterday, very instrumental. So, his club, of course, we talk about the Flying Eagles of Nigeria because 4 games went down yesterday. The AFCON under-20 in Egypt, Nigeria won their game. And for Ghana against Egypt won the game. And for Morocco against Syria alone, beautiful one, seeing Morocco winning that game. And of course, South Africa defeated DR Congo at the extra time of that game. The up next, Nigeria up against South Africa. Yeah,
that was a very, very balanced game. It's going to be very, very interesting to see South Africa, Nigeria. We know the rivalry. We know the the Amapiano, the Amapiano derby, like we used to call it. But of course, we cannot wait to see that game because South Africa, they looks like a promising team.
Very promising.
Yeah,
yesterday I saw their game and I know they're very intelligent. Even with the way they carry the ball from the defense line to the middle of the park.
They are very
also they're very dangerous.
Yeah, just like their senior men's team, senior national men's team. Talking about the Bafana. You see these players, this set of players, they are very technical, they're very intelligent. The way they play together from the middle of the park, even in the attack, even in the final third. I mean, playing against Syria alone, you could expect a very interesting game, and that's what happened yesterday. But quite unfortunate for Syria alone because Syria alone also they did very well in this tournament. I mean, I think they scored 4 goals in the game, and so losing out in the quarterfinal would definitely be very, very disappointing for them. But I would just say that the best team won yesterday. South Africa were the best. They play against DR Congo rather. DR Congo. Sierra Leone lost to Morocco. Yes, yesterday. DR Congo also gave a very good fight against South Africa, but South Africa they were very technical. They were very more comfortable on the ball. They were very balanced in the midfield as well. They dominated that game. Although it ended goalless after the regulation time, in the normal time, the game had to be decided in the extra time where South Africa got the winning goal in the 105 minutes of that encounter from Malangu. The Flying Eagles also, they should be very, very ready for a re-challenge against South Africa because this South Africa side, like I said, they are very, very technical. So it's going to be, but I believe that if Flying Eagles can eliminate the defending champion, talking about Senegal. We can say Senegal were not really promising in this tournament, but they were the defending champions. They are still the defending champions because they hold the title. But the Flying Eagles also, they played very well in terms of being compact at the back. Ebenezer Arcot was instrumental in the penalty shootout, saving 1 penalty. I mean, it was very, very good for the Flying Eagles. Let's see what they can do against South Africa. I believe they can actually get a win. They can reach the final of this tournament. And you look at the remaining teams. The remaining teams,
strong guys remaining. We have Egypt, the host. We have Morocco.
The only team that Flying Eagles has not played in this tournament, or maybe before the tournament, is South Africa because they played a pre-AFCON friendly against Egypt and they defeat Egypt Young Pharaohs by 2-1. So they play against Morocco it ended goalless. So it means that they are the experience against these two Northern Africans. So if they can find their way in the final, anything can happen in the final.
Let's
but
talk about South Africa now.
Yeah.
They've all their games, they've scored 7 goals, considered 3 goals. Remember that in their first game against Egypt, they lost that game. They came back against Tanzania and they won that
4
game.
goals to 1.
I mean, against Sierra Leone, they scored 4 goals.
Yeah,
against Sierra Leone. They defeated Tanzania by a lone goal. Against Zambia, it ended in a 1-1 draw. So overall, they've scored
in 4 games.
I mean, they've scored 8 goals.
Yeah, they
yesterday goal.
Yes, they are the highest scoring team compared to Nigeria. Just like you mentioned, their first game, they lost to Egypt, but they came back against Tanzania, 1-0. They are also the following game against Sierra Leone, they won. Right, they won 4-1. That's 5 goals, and then they defeated. It ended in a draw against Zambia under 20, 1-1, and they scored yesterday as well. So aside from the first game, all their games they've managed to score. They are very, very good attacking wise. It speaks all about their attacking brilliance. They know how to score goals. The only game that they didn't score was their first game against Egypt. So all the remaining games and yesterday game they score goals. So it's looking as if they will be very, very deadly in the attack against Nigeria.
Yesterday I saw them against DR Congo. I can say how they were so sharp up front there, and of course I'm scared playing against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because I saw them too against Senegal, and I saw how Senegal was eventually struggling in that game. Even though they find it difficult against the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, but playing against this highly tactical rated South Africa might be difficult for Flying Eagles.
It will definitely be difficult, and even South Africa will not have it easy. That's just the fact. This is a semi-final. Forget the fact that South Africa have been scoring in all their games. They are very good in the final third. The attacking threat is very, very potent, but I believe that Flying Eagles defense are also very, very good.
Solid.
They have a very, I mean, their defensive solidity is second to none in this tournament, because they are still unbeaten in this tournament. They qualify for the quarterfinal unbeaten in the group. They play 3 games, 1-1. And they drew 2. So it speaks volume about their defensive stability as well. And I think if they can ensure that compactness against South Africa, they would be able to, keep South Africa out of. They will be able to keep them in bay. And let's just see what will happen, because I believe it's going to be. But what I know is it's going to be very, very difficult. South Africa are very good in the attacking wise. They are very good, but when they also meet a very resolute back line, so maybe they can do little or nothing. But I hope that Nigeria can fancy their chance and get to the final of this competition.
All right, let's wait and see if the Flying Eagles will get into the finals of the AFCON under 20. Guys, before we start off BYE on the show, we take stories from tennis right about now. And we saw Carlos Alcaraz in action against Kachanov earlier as of today. And for Alcaraz, he won the game 6-3, 6-3, 5-7. What a game that we saw. And we saw the rest of the games still to come later today. And it's now will be in action. And of course, we are open to Tommy Paul against Alex Di Manuel from the female category. Also, it's going to be a very interesting evening in the world of tennis. Talking about the Italian Open that is going down in Italy.
Yeah, Yannick Sinner is through to the round 16 because he defeated De Jong. It was an easy peasy for him, 6-4, 6-2 yesterday to reach the round 16 where Argentina Serundodo, Serundodo in the round 16. For Alcaraz, good one for him, though it was not an easy one because he actually lost the second set of that encounter. He won the first and the last set 6-3, 6-3, 7-5 against Chananov. But good one that he is through to the to the quarterfinal because he played round of 16 today. The game was round of 16, so he's through to the the quarterfinal of this Italian Open. Musetti will be against Medvedev in the round of 16 later today. One game is also going on, Mensik against Orcas. But for Coco Gauff, good one that she set a record yesterday. She's through to the quarterfinal and she becomes the youngest player to reach 4 WTA 1000 quarterfinals on clay. So this is proven to be an interesting one. Coco Gauff is proving dominance on the clay. Let's see how far she can go. Quite unfortunate for the English Emma Raducanu because like I said, she lost to Coco Gov yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's been a very, very interesting one right here in Italy. We just have to wait and see how this tournament progresses.
All right, 3 games will be going down in the Spanish La Liga today. Sevilla will be in action against Las Palmas, and for Real Sociedad against Vigo. And of course, it's going to be a very, very good one also for Girona playing away from home today. All will be going down in the Spanish La Liga.
Sheffield United are through to the final of the championship playoff. 3 goes to nil against Bristol City. Maybe they are coming back to the English Premier League, but they will have to win their final.
All right.
So we
Thank
wait and
you
see.
so much, DJ Cole, for being part of the show this afternoon.
And Ayomikun,
for Debbie, thank you so much for being part of our award. Yes.
Sunderland will take on Coventry City in the second semi-final of the championship playoff. Coventry City, don't forget their manager Frank Lampard. So he will be looking to win. If he can win and get to the final, maybe he will take.
Maybe I can't wait to see Frank Lampard in the APL next season. But then we have to wait and see. This is football. Anything can just happen. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi.
And I'm Samuel Akintunde.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out of trouble and share to drink water. Mind your business. I'm out of the studio.